The last thing I'm going to want to work with you on in terms of your Excel spreadsheet. So hopefully you have your dates, you have your price per share, and that's all gone swimmingly. But I'd also like you to add two more columns here on row 4. So the first column is going to be number of shares. So when you come in to the stock market game, you have to buy 100 shares, but maybe you'll choose to buy more than that, and maybe at some point you'll choose to sell some off so you'll have less than that. Every day that you chart, I'd like you to also write how many shares you own that day. So because Apple's so expensive, let's say you own 100 the first day, and then maybe you buy another 15, and then you sell some off, and really, it's not a good idea to make this many quick movements as I'm showing here. Buying, selling, buying. Because every time you make a stock transaction, you're charged a fee or a percent. I think it's 3%. But if you think about that, you'd have to make quite a bit of money. You'd have to make $120 in Apple uh, before you pay back the stock fee transaction fee. So it costs that much money just to hire someone to, I'm sorry, I said 120, I meant $12. But it costs a lot of money to buy these stocks. And so it's $12 per stock. So 100 stocks, it's going to add up to a lot. $1,200 just in stock fees if you buy 100 shares. So you don't want to make a lot of quick trades. But just for the purposes of this graph, I'm showing you. And then the last thing you want is total equity or the total value of your stock. So while you all are very good at math and you could say if I have 425, if each share is $425.10 and I have 100 shares, well, we know that that would be $42,510. But I want to show you how to use formulas in Excel because that just kind of makes it easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the box that I want to show total equity. And then up here, this is the formula bar. I'm going to type equals. Then I'm going to click the price per share. And then I'm going to click the star or multiplication button and then the number of shares. So I equals and then I click this. Then I typed in star and then I clicked C5. I press enter and it shows me my total equity. Now I'm going to drag it down by clicking in the corner of this box and dragging it all the way down, and it copies that same formula there. Now this whole column is money, so I'm just going to click the dollar sign, and same thing here, the dollar sign. So this kind of helps me to keep track of the number of shares we own when we owned it and what that value of shares was. So that's the last thing I'm going to want you to do with your spreadsheets. Keep them up to date with the date, the price per share, the number of shares you own, the total equity. And remember, this part will do it for you. You don't have to do anything. And you probably won't be changing the number of shares a lot either. So you won't need to do anything with that. And now, even though I've updated this information, I would still like you to just graph this. So this is the last one in how to graph individual stocks. We might have one more in how to do total equity.